He gonna be here today? Oh, okay. We've got one more fun.
Let's get all your trail cams for that.
I don't. Sorry, this though. There's three. If I can find this picture really quick. That's on Boyd Ridge. Yeah, I helped him Thomas the game winner.
They're showing hunting pictures.
He said they're escapees from reds. Livestock. And so you can't just shoot. I said, what can't we treat them like they treat our stuff when it goes down? Okay.
You'll really like it to get a chance to see it.
Good morning. I'll call this regular staff meeting of Monday, September 29th to order. Commissioner Wright is out of the United States as we speak, so I guess you're stuck with me today. We do have an item on the agenda, item 4, which was consider landlord's consent to assignment between Bighorn Airways Incorporated and First Bank of Wyoming. And there were some new documents that came in Friday that we need to go through, so we're not ready for that item on the agenda today. So we'll be removing item 4 from the agenda this morning. For starters, we have, before we go into staff and elected reports, we have a request to speak from Carmine. And so Carmine, if you want to come forward and speak, you're welcome to.
Thank you, Commissioners, for allowing me to speak. I'd like to talk a little bit and hopefully get some conversation from you guys about the letter that you drafted and ratified and sent to the PSC last week. I did not have an opportunity to be here at that moment, but from what my understanding, the letter was not available to the general public for review. I watched the video and I did notice that you guys did not read the letter at this meeting. So there was really no opportunity for the public to comment on that letter. And so if I may make a comment and maybe get a little conversation at you to help me understand why that letter was written. With your thoughts, after 2 months of public comments, a meeting that you guys helped us get up at the courthouse with MDU involved, and I would say darn near 100% of the public comment was to try and help us, if you guys can try and help us get that line buried. I mean, that was about unanimous. And you guys even went as far as twice tabling MDU's request for whatever that permit where they was requesting to, I guess, the cross-county roads. You went and finally denied those permits. I know the public honestly felt that you believed what we believed, that that line as an elevated overhead line in its location that MDU as an easement to put it was wrong. And you guys wrote a letter to the PSC with more than a recommendation to me to move the line. Never mentioned the words, please bury the line, consider burying the line, we would like to see the line buried, not once. And I'd like to just hear your thoughts on why the letter was written the way it was.
Sir, I guess I will just say at this point, because of probably impending litigation, that we really can't speak about that at this point in time.
So when was there going to be an opportunity, when will there be an opportunity for public discussion with you on this letter that obviously, I mean, you make a point in here of stating core values of Sheridan County and doing what the public is asked, what the public is seeking, and not once do you even discuss that. And I mean, I'm very confused. And I mean, I can see I'm not going to get any conversation from you on that point. And one thing I do, I mean, what I want, I will bring up is you're not going to answer questions. Commissioner Arzi, I believe, is the one that did the original draft on the letter. And then it was edited from there. And when that discussion began, when Commissioner Arzi started talking about it, he mentioned we have what was the word? The complaint, a formal complaint that we need to deal with. Well, the only formal complaint that I know of was the complaint filed to PSC from Frank and Georgia Bowley. And if I may, I don't know what, I mean, I'm assuming you guys are in favor, I mean, of that complaint from what you were telling us. I don't know. You didn't say if you were protesting the complaint, if you were endorsing the complaint. But I do want to read to you, I want the public to hear what the complaint was. This is the complaint by the Bowleys in front of, to the PSC. My husband and I find it very illogical they choose this route, which would be the easement through the Shunk properties, rather than staying on the county road. Because they have chosen this route, the only solution that the community would support is to bury the transmission line where it's slated to go off the current county road path. So I don't know if you guys support that complaint or don't, but I mean, along with all the public testimony that you folks heard, supporting getting that line buried, the form of complaint to the TSU saying the only route, that the only solution would be to bury that line, you guys chose to throw 16 property owners possibly under the bus by recommending that the line gets moved, which would then be an overhead power line. That overhead power line, as I have stated to you guys many times, that easement along the county roads is insufficient. There is no transmission line easement along the county roads. There's no room for it. And that way, that would therefore force MDU to come in and abandon properties along the county road. People like myself that will lose land, everybody on that eastern edge of the two subdivisions, the Little Goose subdivision and the Sandstone, would have to have lands abandoned so that they can go in and put that power line in, because there's no room on the county road. And you need to keep in mind that both subdivisions have covenants filed and endorsed by Sheridan County that says that any and all utilities must be buried. So your statement in your letter, which is very, very disturbing, we would encourage the Public County Commission, the Public Service Commission, to help Sheridan County protect our core values by granting permission to MDU to install this line and alternative routing through existing easements. Those easements don't exist. There's no power lines on the lower road or the upper road bordering those two subdivisions, the county road. So you're also giving them permission to abandon lands, to take lands from landowners. And I find that very disturbing. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move to staff and elected reports, and we'll start with Mark Reed.
Morning, morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Mark Reed, County Planner. Upcoming planning items for consideration on the 2nd of October. Planning and Zoning Commission has 4 items. The YDOT Dietz Tower, conditional use permit. The Knucklehead Storage CUP on Bee Creek Road, the Peak Performance Vet Clinic CUP on McCormick Road, and then finally a setback variance from Creekside Operating. That's in the Powderhorn. Then on your October 7th agenda, you have a couple items. Again, the Dietz YDOT Tower will be on your agenda. And then also the Outlaw Commercial Park final plat consideration for their subdivision permit. New applications we've received, the Bighorn School District or whatever, School District number 1 Rec District has filed an application for a conditional use permit for the Bighorn Recreation Center, which is west of the Bighorn School, would be consisting of recreation, large building with recreation area set up for basketball, volleyball, and then also, I believe, preschool as well. So that'll be on again, let's see, that'll be probably in December, I believe. Received an application from Mr. Bush for the Sackett subdivision, 7 lots on US 87. And then also an application final plat for 4 lots for from the Collins for 4 lots on Beatty Gulch Road. So anyway, lots of applications coming up. So if you have any
We
questions on
continue to
those,
grow.
yeah. If you have any questions on those, just let us know. We'll go into more detail.
All right, thank you. Any questions for Mark this morning? Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yep. Ken?
Morning, Commissioners, Ken Muller, County Engineer. Only thing I have is, we got 5 proposals for Tongue River Restoration Project at Cleanburn. So, myself and Kerry will be kind of going through and scoring those. All 5 are from good firms that do this type of work, so.
Good.
It's gonna be we're gonna have a little scoring sheet, and like to maybe have one more person maybe do it. I was thinking maybe Christie, if I can round her up. But she's been involved kind of in this thing for a long time and stuff, so maybe ask her to go through them and score them, and then us 3 can come together and try to get somebody selected.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Glad there's that much interest.
Yeah, that's all I have, so I just have that agenda item later on, so.
All right, any more questions for Ken? Okay, thanks, sir. Eda?
Good morning, Pro Tem Chair. I just wanted to say Waco was amazing. It was worth every penny. To me, the speakers ended up being the highlight of the event. And I have to say my favorite was Johnny Joey Jones, the Afghanistan vet who lost both his legs. Amazing speaker, and a great reminder on it's not about you, it's about your team. Just so good. It was also really good to hear from Representative Harriet Hagerman and everything that's going on. She's so detailed in her reports on what's happening in DC. It was great to hear from Barrasso as well as what the National Association of Community Offers, what NACO is doing for Wyoming. And that was a lot of our local, our local Wyoming people who sign up to do that, to represent us nationally in DC. And I thought the interesting thing with Barrasso is he now has the Wyoming seal on the ceiling of the majority whip house, or majority whip. You can look up now and see the Wyoming seal. So Just a really good week and very well done, and Sweetwater County is going to be a hard one to follow. And I know that the next 2 years we're in Albany County, so I'm glad somebody stepped up. Someday I hope Sheridan has some room to hold Waco, but anyway, it was just really good, so I just wanted to do a shout out. And then moving forward with the changes that are happening with the reality of our budgets and the workload still increasing and everything, I just want you to know that our employees are working so hard, and they really are the heroes of our county. And we could not do this job as elected officials without our teams. So I just wanted to do a shout out to all of our teams.
Okay, thank you, Ida. Katie? Bradley?
Good morning, I don't have anything.
And do we have anything from public health this
I do
morning?
not, thank you.
Okay, Jesse?
No, sir.
Kimber?
No, sir.
Wow, we're just rolling right along. Eric?
No, sir.
Robert?
Morning, Robert Gale, Sheridan County Airport Manager. Had a proposal opening for the county-owned hangar in the airport business park at 2618 Aviation Drive. And received 3 very good competitive high-level proposals. The 3 proposals are from Bighorn Airways, Bighorn Flying Company, and Gardner Low Aviation Services. And those are currently posted online so they can be viewed. I'll schedule a public hearing in 2 weeks so we can hear comment on those proposals, and looking forward going through that process and the proposals we received. So outside of that, the only other thing I have is the formally leased out building to FedEx, that building up at the airport, moving forward on getting that retro back into a hangar. Meeting with architects and engineers later this week on getting a bid package complete and moving forward on that. Meanwhile, the crew has been doing a great job getting in the building and doing a lot of remodeling ourselves. Outside of that, that's all I got.
All right, thank you,
All right.
sir.
Do you want to say bid package a couple more
Nope.
times?
Did work copy this morning.
There
So,
you go.
all right, thank you.
Okay, good, thank you. Kelly? Kenny?
No, Mr. Chair.
What?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to report back to this board. Several months ago, you all sent a letter to your County Parks and Rec Board directing them to proceed to develop a management plan and associated rules for the unleased portion of the recreation complex. And they have completed that task. At their last meeting, they held a public hearing and adopted rules under the Administrative Procedure Act to address the void that was in place for decades with regard to that land that was unleased. And those rules became effective Friday. I took them down to file in Ida's office, and upon filing, they become effective. So they can be enforced by the sheriff. They were trying to get that in place before hunting season, recognizing that some of the prior use of that by the public had been at hunting. So anyway, those are in place, and I can send those to the board so you all have a copy and know what's going on. And Holly was there urging them on. She was a member of a working group that was appointed by the chairman, and Holly and I tromped around out in the area there to get a feel for what that unleased portion of land actually constituted, because there's just I think what I sensed was there was a lot of assumptions by people, and who maybe had a little bit of history and remembered this, remembered that, but it was beneficial to get some of us just out there on the ground where we could actually see what's in place now and the condition of fences and that kind of thing. So I don't know, Holly might want to add her 2 cents here.
Mr. Chairman, yeah, it was interesting to go out there and walk around. I do want to say thanks to Commissioner Siddle for offering to let us ride in the back of his pickup. That road.
Sure, you know,
But,
it's easy.
I think the big push now with the rules being done is certainly we want to make sure that we have signage out there to make sure that everyone knows what's happening, that there is a gun range right there. So that particular portion of the safety is still very much actively working on. But other than that, it was certainly good to try to bring some idea of what can be done with that property. So, yeah, thanks.
Back in the day, I used to announce, they used to have steeplechases out
Yeah.
there. I used to announce them, yeah. Yeah, it was pretty interesting, but that horse thing kind of went by the wayside there after a while. But people do still ride there, but yeah. Anyway, very good. That might, Joseph, that might make a really good news release at some point to get that in there. Okay, very good. Anything else? Okay, thank you. Cameron?
Good morning, Commissioners. Follow up to some comments I made last Monday regarding backflow testing, and I said everything went well, and it did in this portion of the building and the Attorney's Office and Public Health. It was the historic courthouse that we had some problems. So what has passed in prior years failed this year. So fire suppression system, we have to do some repairs, and also on a couple block backflows. So just let me know that I misspoke, and we're having to schedule some of those. We don't have an estimate on cost yet, but I just wanted to clarify for the record.
Okay.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Anything else? Okay. All right, Commissioner Jennings?
The only thing that I have is that I'll be working from home Thursday. That's it.
Okay. Mr. Hersey?
Busy time of the year. I'll be in most mornings, but afternoons I'll be fencing or moving cows. So
Okay,
get over those in the mail.
very
On my
good.
phone. Yeah.
All right, thank you. I guess I would, Kimber didn't mention it, but I would say that I went by the college rodeo on Saturday, and there was a lot happening up there on the fairgrounds, and the fairgrounds looked like it was in excellent shape, and the ground was in excellent shape. And I will say, in driving by there this morning and yesterday afternoon, that it does appear that those college rodeo people clean up after themselves better than some of the other rodeo people. The grounds looks like it's in a little better shape. Probably college rules and coaches might have a little bit to do with that, but it did look like most of those people at least cleaned up after themselves somewhat decent. I know there will still be a lot of work on the parts of the fairground staff, but thank you for putting on the college rodeo here. That's a big boon to our community. I too would put in a big plug for the Waco meetings and the Wyoming County Commissioners Association parts of the meetings in Rock Springs. Some outstanding topics, some outstanding speakers, and there's just so much to be learned, especially from networking with people from the other communities and how they do things, that it's just incredibly valuable. And there aren't very many organizations that host a 3-day meeting in Wyoming where the governor, a U.S. senator, and a U.S. representative all take the time to actually show up and speak and sit and actually go around and shake hands and listen and support. And I think that's really something else. We will be interviewing a person for the hospital board opening today at 10 o'clock. And at that point in time, I will be going to the mountain and I will be out for the rest of the week. I will have a spot where I can check in once in a while, but I'm going to go up there in pursuit of wildlife for the rest of the week. Okay. With that, we have Ken Muller with the consider the award of bid for the Willow Avenue right-of-way clearing project within the Downers Addition.
Yeah, Chairman Pro Tem, on the board. Public Works, at your direction, requested to be able to get emergency vehicles through this public right of way And, the first part was getting the right-of-way surveyed, which we did. And the second part here is getting the trees and the debris removed so it can be traveled by vehicles through there conveniently. So you see, we've got 4 bids, 2 were kind of outliers. And you can see we had 2 bids that were fairly close. I recommend that we approve this project to save a tree and their little bid for $30,400. And they would get going fairly quickly if you award this and start clearing out that public right of way.
It's amazing, a lot of times we get bids and they're all really close. This one, not so much, yeah. Okay, any questions for Ken? All right, then I'm ready for a motion.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner
I
Jennings,
move to award the Willow Avenue clearing project to save a tree and authorize the chairman to sign the project agreement.
I second that motion.
properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Discussion, seeing none, we'll vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. And with that, at 9:25, meeting adjourned. Thank you.